Welcome back to Mystic Fix. It's tarot time.
Our spiritual journey tonight will begin.
Can't outrun your fate.
Let me tell you about you.
I know who you are, what you are, and why you have come.
Take a good look at these cards, young man. They contain all the secrets of the universe.
What does it say?
Hi, Kay. Do you have a question for me, please?
Yeah, I have kind of several things up in the air regarding the future, my kids, a fairly new relationship, moving. I just want to see if there's any clarity, if I can get any clarity on something.
Okay, well, all right. So those are a lot of different things. Do you want me to just do sort of a general reading?
Yeah, just do a general, I
Okay.
guess.
Okay. Okay. So I'm looking at the year ahead and where the energy's going. We begin with the Eight of Pentacles in reverse, which is a lot of work. It can feel exhausting. You can feel very tired. That's where you are right now. So there's a
Yep.
lot happening. Now our next card is the Four of Swords, and sometimes this is a card of rest. It's always a card of sort of taking some space, calming down a little bit. Now occasionally there can be a little bit of low-level depression with this card. So it can be like, oh my God, just leave me alone, you know. But
Yeah.
I am seeing you in that place very shortly. So sometimes, as I said, sometimes it can be a vacation or, like leave me alone, turn off the phone. I don't want anything to do with that office, and
Yeah.
and other times it's sort of more like solitude and can be, I don't want to say crisis level, but you really need it. So
Okay.
your next card in the next 1 to 3 months, very family centered. It's the Ten of Cups. And it is a happy family, so it feels good. I am seeing just good energy around the family unit. Your top card is the Six of Swords in reverse. So if you were to look at this card, this is also family centered. It's a family in a boat. But in reverse, they're not going anywhere. And so if you're thinking about moving, if you're thinking about traveling, it does not look like the family is doing it in this year. You may be thinking about it, you may be planning for it, but actually, the move actually happening, I am not seeing that. So as we go forward, you've got the Seven of Cups in reverse. And this is a card of feeling disillusioned, saying that your dreams are not really coming true. And that is happening within the next 6 months or so. And on the heels of that, you are making huge change. So the Tower in reverse says, I can't take it anymore. And I see the Tower in reverse when people quit jobs, when they leave marriages, when, other kinds of breakups, just sometimes leaving the state or, when everything's different. When this card shows up with my clients, I say the foundation is wrong, the building has to come down, it's time to rebuild. And so I'm seeing you in that rebuilding stage, but that's I'd say that's more like 9 months away. And your last card finishing out the year is the Nine of Pentacles in reverse. Now, this is interesting because it is a card, I've nicknamed this the Marie Kondo card. If you know Marie Kondo, the magical art of tidying up person, are you familiar with that?
Yeah.
And, and so it's about clearing stuff out. And it's saying, I want my life to be simpler. I want to lighten my load. I want to get rid of things. I don't need all of this. And I'm seeing you in that place. So if you are thinking of moving, it looks like you could this time next year be getting ready to, but I don't see you actually doing it. So what were some of those subjects that you first mentioned? We can just see if there's any of that in here.
Well, I was like my kids. There's some issues with my ex, and two of my three kids.
Well, all I can tell you is your family looks good. So that includes children. And that explosive tower, it could come to a head with your ex. I'll add a couple cards just to see if that looks. So the story I have, and I'll let you decide if this sounds like your ex or not. I've got the Five of Pentacles, which is feeling poor. And so it may be, if he's not giving child support or something like that. Ace of Cups in reverse is over it, and that is saying there is no love lost here. There is just a pushing back on emotion. Five of Swords in reverse is at the base of this, which tends to be a card of fighting and also feeling really defeated. And I also have the Devil in reverse, which is a card of sometimes addiction, depression, panic, anxiety, whether he's doing that to you or whether you would sum him up in that. That's the scenario around this sort of crisis point. So does that feel like your ex to you?
That is very spot on.
Okay. Yeah. So I would just say get ready. Around 9 months, it's kind of all coming to a head. All right?
Oh, wonderful. Thank
Okay.
you.
Thank you, Kay. Great talking to you. Take care.
You too. Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Tiffany, this is Julia at Mystic Fix. How are you?
Good. How are you doing today?
I'm doing great. So you have a question for me, and as I understand, your question's a little bit different because you are learning to read the tarot cards.
Yes, I consider myself a beginner, but I've been kind of into them for, I guess, the last 30 years. My mom actually got me started because I remember when I was younger, she used to take me to a psychic. Not me, but she used to go and I got dragged along, and I think that's how I got hooked. But my question for you is, when you are reading someone, how do you figure out what card layout to use? I've noticed that you use the horseshoe, I believe.
Right.
And then you've used like 5 cards or something like that. How do you base it on?
So when I'm reading for a brand new client, especially if we have a little bit of time, like usually a new client will want at least 15 or 20 minutes with me, so longer than a typical reading on this show would be. But so if I read for a new client, I always say I like to do the Celtic cross, which is the traditional spread. I don't know if you know it offhand. I'll put a picture of it up on our video cast. Yeah, and so the Celtic cross gives you a little bit of past, present, and future, as well as a longer range future, which I read as the next couple years ahead. So I do that.
Okay.
That whole spread takes around 10 minutes. Now, on Mystic Fix and some of the ones you may have seen me do, a lot of times I'll do the horseshoe spread. And the horseshoe spread is a 7-card spread that kind of is triangular. Some people think of it as a pyramid. If you were to connect the lines, it would be a pyramid or triangle. And that is really good at identifying where you are in a situation, would be the first lower card in the left-hand corner, where the energy's going. The top card is the energy of the year, sometimes, depending on the card, the conflict of the year. And then we have the idea of some advice built in there as it's going down, and the final card being the outcome. Some people read positions beneath that top conflict card as what you know and what you don't know. There's a lot written on the horseshoe spread in Jane Lyle's book, Understanding the Tarot, which was one of the first books that I ever kind of learned from. I really memorized it. It was an important book for me. So other times when time is shorter, I'll just do a 5-card spread, and that's a quick window into a situation. It helps me to understand where people are, what people's feelings are. It's less direction and more just kind of a glimpse at a situation. You can also do it with 3 cards. Some people look at some people look at the 3 cards as past, present, and future. I have known tarot card readers, and I write about this in my forthcoming book, Tarot Life Lessons, who don't do any spreads at all. They just kind of throw the cards haphazardly in a pile and read off the top one, as it comes up. I don't think that there are hard and fast rules. So,
Right.
Tiffany, I wouldn't put too much stock on, oh my gosh, I screwed up that reading because I don't remember what this position is supposed to mean. You decide what it's supposed to mean. You are the reader. You are in control of the energies here. And so I think just relax a little bit and play with it and see what makes sense for you and
Hmm.
what speaks to you. Generally, a left to right timeline, certainly in the Western culture, is how we see sort of like left being the past, right being the future. But I've seen people do that differently. So it really depends on you and your style and what you want it to mean. Okay?
Okay, yeah.
All right.
Thank you.
You
That was
bet. I hope that was
really
helpful.
interesting.
Awesome. Thank you so
Yeah, and
much.
I look forward to your book too.
Awesome. I can't wait. All right. Thanks. Great talking to you, Tiffany.
Do you like what I do? Do you have any interest in what it takes to be a tarot card reader? What kind of situations I see from day to day? Well, back in 2020, I decided to open up my journals and record for the world to see some of my more interesting stories. Of course, I disguised names and identities, but the stories are real. And it was really a fun thing for me to put them down. And I am so happy to say that Inner Traditions subsidiary Destiny Books snatched it up, and the book will be released November 7th, 2023. You can pre-order my book now on Amazon. It is called Tarot Life Lessons, Living Wisdom Through the Major Arcana. I'm also recording an audiobook, so excited to share that with you. Finally, Mystic Fix would not exist without Comma Flight. Our sponsor, Comma Flight, is a fusion of contact improv, dance, yoga, Thai massage. Comma Flight is a beautiful way to connect with others and to develop your sense of giving and guiding while listening to the subtle communication of your partner. The next Comma Flight workshop is at the Chosen Retreat Center, September 14th through 17th in Sebastian, Florida. And you can learn more by checking them out on Instagram or on their new website at commaflight.com. That's KAMAFLIGHT. Thanks for spending time with us this week. Hope you enjoyed this exploration of psychedelics and other sorts of spiritual journeys. To catch you again next week.